the nature of this match might have changed a little bit because of what you did against Montreal. Do you think it may have alerted TFC, changed the manner in which they look at you, view you?
Yeah, I don't know about how they'll deal with it in their locker room or amongst their coaches. I think for us it was an important thing after playing quite a few matches against opponents to get through one of these ties. It was one thing that we hadn't done in the 5.5 years we've been around as a club, and I think that just helps you going forward. Every positive experience, every negative experience is supposed to help you in what you do next. So I think that last series gives us a good frame of mind to be able to prepare and get ready for what will be a challenging 2 games with TFC.
Perfect. Next, we'll head over to Neil Davidson. Go ahead, Neil.
Thank you. Sorry about the delay there. Bobby, I noticed that Kalongo did not start against Vancouver. Was that just a coach's decision, or was there something going on?
No, that was just part of some rotation that we have in the squad, kind of pre-planned stuff we look at with our keepers. Nothing more than that. Also, with congested game schedule, it's a good opportunity to rotate the guys.
And if just a quick follow-up, any injury concerns or other absences?
No, not right now. The only one we continue to have is Terran Campbell, who will be out for a few more weeks, and it's just getting back into things. But other than that, we've got a full bill of health.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Next question, we'll go over to Joseph. Go ahead, Joseph.
Coach, how are you? You can become the giant killer. First, if we got Montreal, now TFC, if everything goes the way we want it. How is your thoughts about facing TFC?
Yeah, we don't think about it like that. We're a club that in the past 5 years has won 4 championships. So we don't look at anyone else as a giant. We consider ourselves a big club. We think big in those aspects. So it's not so much about the opponent. We know each opponent, doesn't matter who they are, bring their challenges. Also give you opportunities. So it's more about focusing on those things and not so much about the exterior stuff of a CPL team playing a team from MLS, so on and so forth. This is the Canadian Cup, so it's only regular and it's only normal that these matchups are going to occur. We're obviously it's a new competition with all of these teams over the past 5 years, but this will just become more normal each and every year, and we'll see different teams beating each other. So for us, it's more about the game plan, about being tactically prepared for what we need to face and what we need to do. And if we do that right, our desire is to come out with a positive result tomorrow.
Coach, one more thing. We're going to be able to see Kyle Baker probably to start. And the last time we were able to see Parra and Badibanga switching each other in the middle and in the left side. Are you trying something new with Parra?
My job usually the day before the game is not to tell the other coach what we're looking to do. So we'll leave that as a surprise for tomorrow's lineup when it comes out. And then tactically with what it looks like when the referee blows the whistle.
Thank you, Coach. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question will go to Charlie O'Connor-Clark. Go ahead, Charlie.
Thanks, Nico. Hey, Bobby. I'm just wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what you've noticed about Toronto FC in the last few weeks, obviously being in a bit of a weird spot and missing some guys as well. But what have you noticed about them from a footballing standpoint?
Yeah, it's obviously been a challenging period for them over the last few weeks with some of the results. But sometimes the results don't show the true picture of what a team is. I think when it comes to tomorrow, what you've done last week, the week before doesn't really matter. This is a competition right now, which in 3 good positive games you've lifted a trophy and you're playing in Champions Cup next year. So I think that's the Toronto FC we should be prepared for, or any opponent we're playing. That's who we should be prepared for. The same thing, that's who somebody else should be preparing to play in a Forge team. The rest in these cup competitions, to be honest, I just put out the window because, yeah, you see certain things in them positive on the field. And maybe you'll see something totally different tomorrow coming into this game. I know that this is a great opportunity for both clubs. to get a positive start in this first leg, because that's what's important in these games, because usually things are decided in leg number 2, you know. So, you know, we've identified certain areas where we need to be very good, where we need to impose ourselves on them, and you know, there's also the dangers that they bring to the table, and we try and do as best job as possible as a coaching staff to prepare the players. And then, you know, we look to the quality of our players, and we've got some quality players on the pitch that in these types of games are usually at their best.
Bobby, you mentioned, these things are usually decided in leg number 2, but is there anything different, in the mentality or just the way that you're able to look at it with the second leg being so far away? Maybe, not looking at that second leg being a week away or anything. It's kind of just this one right here.
Yeah, that's the tough thing a little bit, right? So, like you said, usually you're 1 to 2 weeks away from the next game. You know, I think when you play these is you want a positive result as much as possible. You obviously want to win. You want to keep the ball out of your net with away goals being important. But yeah, you don't put too much emphasis on the second game. That's the most important thing. It's what you do in each and every game. You know, last round against Montreal, we've tied here, which theoretically makes things difficult, and we've gone and won in Montreal. So each game is special in its own right, but you want to make sure that you're giving yourself a positive result in this first game. And then we got a lot of time to the next one.
Great. Thanks, Bobby.
Any other questions? Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us, Bobby.
Thank you, everyone.